Hey, I'm Guardian6. Welcome to the very first video of Guardian XOC, where I'm going to pretty much start learning how to do extreme overclocking. I've always wanted to do this, and now you guys just get to follow along with me. I'm going to make a ton of mistakes along the way. This video is no exception, as you will see in a bit. Alright, before we get started, just wanted to show the system I'm going to be overclocking. So we got here a Pentium G3258 on a custom homemade CPU pot. I might make a video about that later. And we got this on HA1 MK Asus board. This is not the best board for overclocking, but it will do for my first real-time benching on dry ice. I'm using it just because I got it cheap. And I do have a K-type thermal probe hooked up to that, though I'm not sure if this probe will actually read down to dry ice temperatures. For the graphics card, this is just an HD3450. I don't even have a driver installed for this card right now. So it's going to just really be used as a basic display adapter. And for the power supply, I have a Corsair CX600M that is A+ bronze rated, and it's modular, so it's nice to use. It will work for the power draws of this setup easily. And yeah, that's about it. I am booting off of just kind of a regular Intel SSD. Nothing special about that, but it will improve boot times over a hard drive. Alrighty, here we are in the BIOS now in advanced mode. As you can see, I currently have this running at 4.6 gigahertz right, with a multiplier of 46, and I have it sitting at 1.325 volts on the core and 1.2 on the cache. I haven't tuned in any other voltages yet. That will probably become more important once we get into the actual cooling. And I also have not overclocked RAM at all, which does not actually overclock really at all on this board. I can change timings though. And as you can see, it's currently sitting at about 32 degrees Celsius, which is actually pretty good considering I've just had it sitting with an empty pot this entire time. And so yeah, I just picked up local dry ice at the grocery store, which comes in giant blocks. So I'm gonna have to be breaking it up into smaller, more usable pieces, if not just a powder. And I'll be putting that into some 91% isopropyl alcohol. Alright, so we've got that going. Temperature is starting to drop just a little bit. It's getting down to 30s now. Had it running for a little while and was warming up a bit, but it's going to need a little bit more alcohol and a little bit more dry ice. We are now getting down to 20 degrees, and to show you right here, we are also saying about 20 degrees in real temp. So I'm pretty sure I've got a good seat on the pot. We should be able to pull this CPU down all the way to about negative 60 or 70, hopefully. And I'd like to be benching at that temperature. it's now reading at about negative 48, 49, and I think that's as low as it's going to get. The temperature probe is actually only rated to read down to negative 20 degrees Celsius, but I'm actually surprised it's going this far. And of course, in real temp, it just says 0. But I think this is as low as it's going to get. I'm just going to kind of keep it at this point because it's not quite boiling as violently anymore. And I'm just going to start overclocking and then hopefully get started on benching. Okay, so we just had our first crash. We're attempting 5.1 gigahertz on the core, and so I think it's time to start upping up some other voltages other than just V-core. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to up the cache voltage to we'll just go 1.25, and then the system agent and analog and digital I/O offsets, probably just going to set those to 1.95 for now. We might up those a little bit further. I'm really not sure how much they'll help with stability. It could, of course, just be the motherboard, which, yeah, that's more than likely it, actually. I forgot to show it on screen, but even though I couldn't overclock the RAM frequency, as you can see, it's stuck at 1400 megahertz. I did adjust timing, so I've got running at CL6 and then, well, it's just pretty much 67720. That is the first successful pass on XTU. I had to turn it down to 5 gigahertz, of course. Now, it says highest CPU temperature is 5 degrees Celsius. Makes me wonder, because I was getting about, it was going all the way up to negative 28 from what my thermal probe was saying. So I almost wonder if I'm having a surface area problem. So yeah, this session didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. That said, it is my first time to be benching on really anything other than air, and I gotta say it was a lot of fun. Hope to be doing it again. Definitely be doing some follow-up videos about that CPU pot, as I mentioned, and I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, so I've had this cooling down for a bit, about 20 minutes, and it's only gotten down to negative 43.